right now. Catch me if you can.
I ain't even hungry, but I ate that. I keep on winning and they hate that. And they hate that. And they hate that. I ain't even hungry, but I ate that. I keep on winning and they hate that. And they hate that. And they hate that.
Yeah, what's up?
Eat 'em up, yo.
Yeah, I was on a little diet. Had to
Eat 'em
get ready
up.
for the summer. Even if they
Eat 'em
don't want
up,
it, we gon'
yo.
give it to 'em.
Eat 'em up. If I don't do nothing, I serve. Really, I'm super absurd. Got 'em all dead like purge. Leave 'em speechless, no words. Leave 'em speechless, no. Coming in first and third. Tight fit, showing my. Lights, camera, action like verbs. Going hard for my sisters. Hurry up, take my picture. Heels hurt, I got blisters. Touchdown, make me richer. I ain't even hungry, but I ate that. I keep on winning and they hate that. And they hate that.
Today, from London, England, it's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Baltimore Ravens. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
Not bad for a fourth-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play and gave up a bigger one instead. Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tyus Bowser in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Here's Cousins. Flush to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. A big play there for Minnesota.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Cousins on first down. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. K.J. Osborne there to make the grab. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's Anthony Barr coming in from his linebacker spot to bring him to the ground. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out that makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
First down, here's Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Cousins now from the 50, escaping the pressure right. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Minnesota.
Boy, they've definitely come out of the gate smoking here in the first quarter. Whatever they've tried to run has worked. And there's another example right there. Game plan is one thing, but how about his accuracy? It's been exceptional.
Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They go play action. Cousins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run.
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Vikings lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. 2 excellent drives for them to start this game, both ending with touchdown passes.
Yeah, they're off and running, even though they finished things off through the air. Gotta like what you're seeing from them so far. Being able to maneuver offense, take care of the football, and then ring that bell at the end with, as you said, 2 touchdown passes.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake, but I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Osborne. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now on the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's polished off by a Viking score. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. On the return is Duvernay. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Throwing is Jackson. And this is going to be pulled in by the tight end Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. This is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dalvin Tomlinson, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. 21-0 our score after 1. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. And this will be taken at the 13. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And a trio of touchdown passes so far. They've got the lead as well. All is good in their football world at this point.
And it's so much fun for our colleagues, right? Think about our producer, our director, everyone putting together these shots. Wouldn't you love to be in the truck right now and hear them calling for it? Give me that one. Give me that one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him.
He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 37. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. And even 40 yards.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Flush to his right. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. Throwing is Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. Gonna throw deep for the end zone. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Point after, right down the middle. And it is 28-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jackson to throw. On the move to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
I got you. Check 55 to mine. Check 55.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your
On 1st down, Cook. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens' 27. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Cook. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings open the lead up to 34-0. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 27, Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And here comes Westbrook. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Lets it fly for Thielen, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, 54 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket, because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Escape, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. That's a step in the right direction defensively here, because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Throwing, Cousins. Flushed out right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
And they run the option on 2nd down. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Tucker's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A first down throw for Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
On second down, Cousins again. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll throw again. Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Jackson on first down. Got him in. It's Brown. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Joseph on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now Jackson on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return. A scoop and score for the Vikings. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, That's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Joseph now to have the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And, oh, that's one. He's going to want back. A poor kick. It heads straight out of bounds.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Jackson. That'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Looks to me partner like he's learned a little bit. Because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe, oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one, maybe not the hard-fought battle many had hoped for. This has been blowout city thus far, but still more football to be played. Who knows what could happen as we send you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
And how about this right out of the locker room, an onside kick attempt. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. But gutsy call there. He exit the locker room with a lead, tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now. To their opponent, and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a great defender. Everson Griffin making a great defensive play there for a loss. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. Well, when you've got a kicker out there who's already missed twice, he definitely would rather have about a 30-yarder rather than one from a neighboring county.
Can we agree to just give him a pass on that one? It would have definitely been a way to turn his mood around, but instead, it's a third miss and another scoreless possession.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there for Minnesota. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. To throw, Cousins. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Calais Campbell. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. To throw is Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings! Cousins able to connect with Adam Thielen. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Joseph on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, He often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Now it's Jackson. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just...
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay there to make the grab. And the Ravens, they claw one back. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Justin Tucker for the extra point. So they get 1 score back, but still a long ways to go here in this third quarter. That time, a 9-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. Kene Nwagu. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone,
right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Again, Jackson will keep it. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That second down play nets a -4.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Jackson now. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Westbrook now on the return. And he's going to give his guys great starting field position as he dives to the ground to get as much as he can. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And his guys are going to have a 1st and goal down at the 3-yard line. Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Chris Herndon there to make the grab. And the Vikings get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second-half blowout material. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield. Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15. They run it again with Cook. Who with a juke? And some room to maneuver. And he goes diving to get as much as he can following a big gain. A nice little cherry on top there at the end. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll run for it with Cook. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Cousins sliding out of the pocket. And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had a goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown. And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team, because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard. Tucker now to add the point after. And now it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he takes it all the way back. And this crowd can't believe what they're seeing. Things go wrong even after a touchdown in this one. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain? I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And some room to run now. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another. Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins. Flushed out right. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. And look at this, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. The Ravens offense back out there. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll go again with Dobbins. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And now out comes Minnesota. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 73 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 64 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Let's bring it.
Hey, check mine.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And he fields it cleanly. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Telling us stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
You'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Cook. And he may have given those 6 yards right back as they're going to get to him well behind the line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. On 3rd, here's an option play right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So now here comes the field goal unit again, and this phase of the game has been an absolute disaster so far. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tyus Bowser picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Play fake. Cousins. Rolling to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play this year.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this one is incomplete. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. They'll start out here with the option left. And they're reinforcements coming as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Back to throw. Jackson had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So now here comes the field goal unit again, and this phase of the game has been an absolute disaster so far. Tucker's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Cook able to escape.
And this will be a Vikings first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
And look at this, another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Jackson will throw again. The quick slant caught. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Tucker able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Able to power through. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 158 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. A run there with Cook not going to be successful as he'll lose a couple of yards on 1st down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And this score will stay right where it is. I guess I got to hand it to him. That was ambitious.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
At EASports.com.